Welcome, everybody. Good evening to everyone. Welcome to this special edition on my Conde YouTube channel. So, today is very special because we're actually hosting a historic event. All right. And the theme of our event today is why your child behaves the way he or she does and how to fix it. I hope you came prepared to learn. Maybe you came with your questions, with your notebook. Get ready because tonight is going to be a powerful session. All right. So we already have amazing speakers already coming in. Yeah, good evening, Modestine. Good evening, Larissa. Thank you so much for joining in this soon. We are so glad to have you, and we are all prepared to dish you out value this evening. Okay, so my name is Maya Konde, and I'm a parent coach based in Cameroon. And you know that we see parenting as something that should be done anyhow, or we don't actually need prior knowledge before doing it. And at times, we lose consciousness of the fact that how we parent our children have lasting impacts on them. All right. So we are here to learn, okay, parenting skills. All right. We are here to grab knowledge from amazing mothers, from amazing fathers. Okay. Who are going to teach us on some basics of parenting and to actually understand why your kids behave the way they do and which strategies can you use to handle them in order to make the situations more peaceful at home for you or your family. Okay. So we're going to move on to the first speaker who is already with us. Her name is Mommy Ebele. Mommy, good evening.
Good evening, Ma. Happy to meet you.
Same
Good
here. We are
evening,
so happy to meet
yeah,
you too.
me too.
Thank you.
Good evening. Okay, okay. Good evening,
Yeah.
everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here today and to connect with all of you on this important parenting topic. Do I go on?
Yes,
Okay.
Mommy, you
My
can
name
go
is
on. So we are going to be handling the theme. Why does your child not open up to you and how can you fix it? Yes, you can go
okay.
ahead, Mommy.
Okay. Thank you very much. My name is Mrs. Ebelo Bijofo. I'm a registered nurse and a nurse tutor by profession. I'm a grandmother of 68 years old, and I've been married for roughly 39 years with 5 children and a grandchild. By the grace of God, 3 of our children got married last year, and all our children are grown up and are living independently. I'm presently a parenting coach, and I work with the children's church, children's department in my church for over 25 years. I have passion for children. And by the grace of God, we've been able to raise our children, and 5 of them are really doing very well. None of them are giving us headache. And so it's my passion, it's my earnest desire to help other parents, teach them and guide them on how to raise their own children so that they will all have well-rounded individuals. And when we parents do our job very well, you see that the world will be a better place for every one of us. So let me go straight ahead to my topic today. I'm discussing the topic that says why your child is not opening up to you and how to fix it. Okay? Why your child is not opening up to you and how to fix it. Some parents discover that their
Hello. Yes, Mommy. Can you get me? I think that network kicked you out.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. It's okay. So I was just saying that the topic today is why your child is not opening up to you and how to fix it. It's usually a big problem and concern for parents when they discover that their children are reluctant to share their feelings, their thoughts, their experiences with them. They feel distant and reserved. It bothers parents. And so that's what we are going to trash today. Before I go into this topic, I would like to lay some foundation for us to really be guided when we are talking about this issue. So I have four topics, four main foundation to lay. The first one is that God created us all and gave us these children. We are just caretaker. In Genesis chapter 1, I believe all of us are Christians. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 31, God created all things and he looked at what he created and they said they are very good, not just good, very good. So these children that God has given us, they are very good and they are precious gifts given to us. We are just caretakers and we should remember that these children that God gave to us, we are to nurture them and at the end we are going to account on how we did we do what we did to those children. So parenting is a serious business, a serious work. We need to be serious with it so that we'll have well-rounded children that will be proud of and God will be proud of us for work well done. The second point is for us to understand that these children are special gifts from God. And not just that they're special gift, they came to us when a baby is born. The baby comes like a plain slate. I hope we understand what is slate. They come as plain slate, and nothing is written on those slates. It's just like somebody buying a computer, nothing inside, and then you start inputting things. So the things that we input on those slates, what we write on them, their behaviors, the way we behave, the way we relate with them. These children is written in them. So that's the behavior. We need to be good models and model what we want from them. So if we model wrong behaviors and these children are watching us, looking at us, copying us, it then means that when we are complaining that the children are not opening up to us or our children are not behaving well, we are now reporting ourselves because it's what we model to them that we are getting back. So we need to understand this. The third factor I want us to understand is that children, just like adults, they have emotions. Many adults look at children because they're small, they treat them like all these plastic baby dolls that we buy. No, children are human beings like us. They have emotions. They can express happiness, sadness, anger, fear, jealousy. Like when a child has another baby coming on, you see sibling rivalry, baby jealous, they can express frustrations. So they have these emotions, and it's our duty, like as parents, to guide them. Remember, they're developing. They don't know how to uh, control this emotion. That's why a child may come where there are plenty people who just be shouting. Maybe everyone's supposed to be quiet. Will just start crying because it's hungry. They cannot express their emotion. So it is our duty to show them, train them, model uh, emotion, model how to control emotion, and let them know these different emotion and how to express themselves properly. And when we notice, as we are modeling this behavior, anytime we notice a bad behavior coming from them, we should correct them on time because it says that prevention is better than cure. When we don't correct or we choose battles and correct some and not correct some, we are not consistent. You see that they may not come out to at times they will behave the way we don't like and we complain. So it's better for us to lay good example and correct them on time so that they will uh, turn out well. And so, a lot of people, like I mentioned, a lot of adults don't look at children as if they have emotion. Or when you say that a child is having problems, you look as if, how can a child have problem? Children do have problem. They have anxiety. They have things that worry them. They at times they are depressed and they are withdrawn. And so, what are these things that may cause children to have anxiety or get depressed or get withdrawn, and then we'll be worried that they're not communicating with us? There are so many of these factors. I want us to go into them. Some of the factors that can cause children to have anxiety and be depressed and be withdrawn. One of them is parental conflicts. If a child is growing in a home that the parents are always yelling at each other, quarreling, violence between parents, even divorce, you see that it will affect these children. It will make them to be confused, then be so worried and lose self-esteem. Another factor is when you have parents that are overcritical or parents that are perfectionists. Every time they want things to, they criticize the children will do something, they'll forget that these children are growing, that they should be followed with patience and then be directed. You expect a small child to behave like you. You see, all these things affect children. When you are criticizing them, it makes them lose confidence. It makes them lose self-esteem. They will not be happy. They will be anxious. They'll be worried, and they'll bottle up. Another thing is when a child loses a loved one, it affects them. Assuming a child loses the mother, and then the father remarries, or even if he doesn't remarry, losing that loved one, the child has been attached to that parent, and losing that loved one, the child will be affected and will be anxious, may be depressed and be withdrawn. Another factor is academic pressure. In our school, we understand that things have changed. The time we are going to school, you see children we are doing few subjects. Now, children, they will be asking you some questions, you'll be so surprised. Children in primary school are doing things that you even handle when you are in secondary school. So academic pressure, so many loaded assignments, it will overwhelm some of them. And the parents are also expecting much from them. They expect them to excel. So all these things stress them up and cause anxiety. And some children also have problem of being bullied in school, and it affects them, cause them anxiety. Some of them may not even want to go to school. The parents will not understand and still push them. All these things brings them into anxiety. Some may have some chronic illness or pain, like children that have something like autism or sickle cell, they're always in pain, and it makes them not to be able to interact with their peers the way they're supposed to. It will make them to be anxious, it will make them to be withdrawn, they will not be happy. There are some children, all these things push them into drug abuse, substance abuse. Some even the kind of associations, friends they keep, or their peer pressure, because they want to belong to the group. They may push them into joining smoking so early in life. Maybe they have neighbor that will ask them to help them buy cigarette and light it. From there, they will get uh, inducted into substance abuse. All these things affect the children to be anxious, to be depressed, to be withdrawn. We also have some children that find it difficult to make friends. It may be due to bullying, it may be due to that feeling different. Some people have some people were born with some abnormalities. It's not their fault. But the way, if the parents did not bring them up in such a way that they will be confident in the way they are and be proud of who they are, that is the way God created them, it may affect those children. You see that it will affect them. They will not be able to make friends. They'll be feeling that different, and some have that learning disabilities. And the children, the parents too, may be criticizing them, trying to compare them with others. Nobody likes comparison. Even we adults, we don't like comparison. So when parents are always comparing you with others, they will not be happy. All these things will cause anxiety, cause depression, and make them to be withdrawn. Also, some parents maybe changing location, moving from one country or the other, one location to the other, or changing schools. There are some parents that change school to their children. We don't even think of the implication on those children. You move them from their familiar environment, from their friends, they go to another environment and start all over. It affects these children, and it's enough to cause them to be anxious and depressed. We have a lot of uh, neglect and abuse in homes. It can be physical abuse, beating, abusing verbally, emotional abuse, sexual abuse. Some parents are there and they are even, you see some families that even the father may abuse a daughter or close relations living with them or have self living with them. And the parents may be there, they may not know, and all these things affect the children and make them to be anxious. And this brings me to the fourth point I want to talk about, which is communication.
Okay. So I think network has kicked her out, but I hope that she'll be coming back. Okay.
Is that
All right.
okay? Are you hearing me?
Yes, it's okay now.
Okay, okay,
Yes, I
okay.
can get
So,
you.
okay, it's okay. So let me continue. Okay, I was talking on some of the causes of anxieties and depression and things that make children to be withdrawn. Another factor that we need to understand is that every child is uniquely different. All the children are not the same. It's not a question of one cap fitting all. So children are different, they're created uniquely, they have emotions. Every child wants to be loved, want to be heard, want to be valued and respected the way you want to be respected. That's how these children, no matter how small, children love to be respected. And so we need to have good communication with these children. Importance of communication skill cannot be emphasized. The importance of communication skill. We need to communicate effectively with these children in order to teach them all these different emotions and how to express them in a way that is acceptable in the society. Effective communication, just talking to a child doesn't mean you are communicating effectively. Communicating effectively means that the child is understanding what you are saying. I'm sure some of us may have witnessed at times, maybe talking to somebody, the person will now turn and ask you, are you talking to me? Meaning that what you are even saying was not getting through. So we need to have effective communication with our spouse, with our children, as we teach them all these emotions and how to develop and how to handle them. If we if we know what we want to expect from these children, you model it. Whatever you want for them, model what you're expecting from them. Correct when you see any wrong and correct on time. Don't ignore when you see some wrong emotional expressions. Correct patiently, correct in love. Don't pick battles. You should be consistent in whatever training you are giving your children. If you are not consistent, you see that the children will not take you serious and they will continue in their wrong way. So be consistent in teaching them. Every day is a teachable moment for them. Any opportunity we have in our home, you use it to teach our children the way to behave, the way to manage their emotions. Okay, so I've just talked about causes of these emotions, anxieties. So now we are talking about children that are not ready to open up. There are some factors that may make a child not to open up to you. And or to open up to you or not to open up to you depends on some factors. First, I will talk about the age factor and personality factor. When I'm talking of age factor, I'm talking about the developmental stage of the child. If you see a child that is about 2 years, the child may not have learned the emotions, how to express them, may not even be able to differentiate. And that's why maybe you see a child, a toddler, is hungry or is feeling uncomfortable or he wants something, he'll just, start falling on the ground. I have a son that time, when he was a toddler, he would just tell you, say, when he's frustrated about something, he'll just tell you, I will knock my head on the ground and cry. And as you're looking at him, he really knock his head on the ground and start crying. There are children, they don't know how to handle these emotions. We are the one that to correct them. So when you look at the age of the child, you know whether what he's doing is commensurate with age, and you bear with them and then gently direct them on how to behave. Let that child know that it's not when you are hungry, you start knocking your head on the ground or you start falling and crying. No, if you're hungry, say you're hungry. So you direct them. And then you see, as a child is growing, when they become teenagers, they feel that they are now grown. Because of that developmental stage, he may feel that he's grown, that he doesn't have to, share everything about himself with you. You feel that he's mature, he can handle himself. So you understand them and you know how to tackle them. That's why I talked about the importance of communication. So the way you communicate with your child will do whether he will come open and discuss with you. And the age. So if the child is very young, he may not know even how to express himself, and so he can do anyhow. But a child that is mature is supposed to have, you are supposed to have taught that child different emotions: hunger, anger, fear, frustration, how to express them, and they will express it well. And then another thing that will determine whether the child will open up to you or not is trust or lack of trust and safety. As the child is growing up, the way you relate with them will make them trust you or not to trust you. As you are, the trust is mutual. You want your child to trust you. The child also needs to have your trust. Because if your child shares something with you, like my children, there are sometimes they may want to share something with me. I know it's something that is not that private. We can say others will hear, we discuss. But there are sometimes a child will tell you that he has something to discuss with you and it's personal. We should respect that child's privacy and go just discuss with him. And whatever that child discusses with you should be held in confidence. You should not go and broadcast it. But if the child discusses that matter and you discover that an issue that needs to be followed up further, it's your responsibility as the parent to explain to that child the need, explain the way you understand for that need, for that issue to be disclosed, maybe to your spouse or to wherever. If from the school, you can now carry it on to the school. So if the child has your trust, let me give you an example. Assuming you, as a mother, you have some issue now you discuss with your husband in confidence, and then the following day, one of your sister-in-law calls you and starts to to refer to that matter. You feel bad. Next time, when you have something intimate to discuss, you will not discuss with him. The same thing applies to children. So when children discuss certain things with you and it's confidential, hold this as confidential for them. Hold it and don't go and broadcast it. Your neighbor will start teasing me about it, or tomorrow you make reference to it or you use it to punish you. So trust is involved. If you keep their word, they'll be able to open up next time. Then another thing is feeling pressured. If something happens, assuming there something that happened, that somebody maybe accuse their child now that he stole, or maybe they fought outside, and the way you are pressing that question, you are asking that child question, you are pressing that child, you are not giving him room to talk, you are bringing question upon question, or you are asking so much probing question, it may make that child to withhold, and they will not open up again. So we need to be free with them. We need to be free with them, so for them to be free to open up to us. Also, parents' body language or reaction. When a child is trying to tell you something, you react as if you are shocked. You are shocked. You are frustrated. How would that child go ahead to explain more when you're already mad at him or her? So we need to be cool. When you want to press out something for a child, be cool. I remember when we were living in a family house in Enugu, there was a time a house help living with my one of our family members put fire in the house when the children, everybody went to work. What was his her grievance? That a house girl that was living with my mother-in-law, a cousin of my husband that have stayed with them from 6 years and have entered secondary school. She that just came 3 months. She was jealous that that girl's clothes were more than her, and she went and carried that girl's stuff when she went to school and put fire on it and put under the bed. The whole house burnt. Everything was, she was questioned, taken to police station. He denied that he was not the one. But every indication was that he was the one, because the room that fire started, there was no electrical thing apart from fan and light there to trigger off light. But later on, after she was brought back from the police station, a lady now called her calmly and started as she opened up and then now narrated how she did it. So the way we react will make that child to withdraw. He will not open up. Another thing is busy or distracted parents. When a parent is feeling too busy, your child may rush in exactly to tell you something. You just put that child aside and say you are busy. The child will withdraw. When you want that child to come, he will not come again. He will not open up. And the child is talking to you. Instead of you to leave whatever, the child maybe comes back from school. Something happened in school. You don't know whether he was abused in school. He just coming to tell you. And you are busy doing some, answering your phone or doing some other thing. The child will feel that it's not valued, that is not valued. He will never be heard. So he will not open up to you. Another thing is when a child is feeling ashamed or embarrassed and is emotionally overwhelmed. Maybe somebody raped that child and he may be an insider, a relation living with you, and you are not noticing. The child is going through some emotional torment. You need to notice it and then hug that child and calmly show love and empathy. You see, the child will open up. But when a child is ashamed, embarrassed, emotional, and nobody seems to care, the child will just bottle up. You end up going to talk to outsiders. Another point is generational or cultural gap. There are some societies that, like in Nigeria, there are some parts of the country that that a woman is not to a woman, they say, is not supposed to be hard. You just see a woman, you should not even come and talk. And some areas, when a woman is talking to even the husband, he should be looking on the floor, cannot look up to him to talk. So in that kind of situation, how do you expect a child to come and open up to talk that kind of matter? So you cannot, but things are changing. Our young ones are now knowing that they can open up and speak and air their share their beliefs, share their thoughts and their experiences. But all this thing, like I mentioned, it depends on your relationship with that child, whether the child has their struggle. And then another factor is previous experiences, previous negative experiences. If the child has been trying to open up and you dismiss the feeling, you see a child crying, you don't even recognize that it's crying. Why should he even cry? Or you say, why should that matter that happened even make that child cry or make that child upset? That child will feel that nobody cares. He will just, bottle everything. He will go outside to talk to others. He will not talk to you. And then if there are some previous experiences, maybe he was having some conversation with you and he ended poorly. If, as we are discussing, you got frustrated and you got annoyed, how do you expect that child will come up to open up to you? He will not. So these are some of the things that make children not to open up to us. And so how do we now fix it? The most important thing is open communication. Open communication. Listen to children. Listen to children. Listen to children. When they're talking to you, pay attention. Your children, maybe they've gone to school, they'll come back. Whatever you are doing, you are so busy. Keep it and make time. Make sure you have time for children, for your children every day. Have open communication. Make an environment suitable, safe enough for them to talk to you without feeling that they will be criticized or judged. Open communication is very important. Show interest in their affairs. Show interest in their hobbies. Show interest in whatever they're doing, their progress. You see, they will be happy. They will always share with you. My children are always open to share with me because I started right from time to have intimate communication with them. I can walk into their room anytime. I don't lie on the bed and stay with them and we talk. And so when they have anything, they talk. There's nothing too intimate that I cannot discuss with any of my children. And I thank God for that. So open communication is very important. Trust your children. Believe in them. Believe in them. Trust them. And when they are talking to you, pay attention. Trust them. Be approachable. Don't show that they are lion. You will scare them away. The time parents used to do like lion, especially men, they will just come and back. And once you see the man coming by, everybody run, even the wife, everybody run and hide because lion is coming. It's fast. Build confidence. Build confidence. Stay calm. Whatever is happening, even if something that is troubling, stay calm and give them space. If the child is so overwhelmed with emotion, give that child space. Let that child know that you are around, that he can come and confide in you anytime. A little hug is enough to show empathy and make that child feel free to talk and discuss with you. Make them to have confidence in themselves. Celebrate. Praise them with little effort. Even when they open up, maybe a child breaks a plate or does something you ask and he owns up. Praise that effort. Praise that honesty. Praise that openness. Celebrate little wins and they'll be confident to always share with you. Another thing is encouraging socialization. Encourage socialization. Even within the family, make out time every day to have family time, to have fun time, to have close time with them. You know, at times you can go on little walk, just a little walk, you pick them, they go with you. As you are going, or maybe you are cooking in the kitchen, preparing vegetables to cook, or picking beans, you involve them. As you are doing those things, maybe washing clothes, doing gardening, involve them. As you are doing all those activities today, you see there will be natural conversation that will come out from them. They will tell you their issues. They will air their opinions, and also encourage them to relate with their peers, peer interaction. If there are some parties going on, birthday party or peer interaction, encourage it, but at the same time, be attentive and watch out the kind of people they're associating with. If you notice anybody that they're associating with that you don't like the character, point out to them and let them get them out of that kind of relationship on time. Family activities is very important. It makes family to bond, and as you bond, trust is created and they'll be free to discuss with you. Model healthy behaviors, build connections. I've said it before. Whatever you want those children to be, whatever behavior you want them to exhibit, show it. You, when you go out and you are tired from your place of work, you come back. How do you express it? Do you express emotion to your husband, or is asking you something you just hiss and pass, and you are withdrawn? Your children will copy you. They will do the same thing. That's why anytime, like I said, these children are plain slates that you are giving to us. So it's what you write there, what you do. You think they are not observing, they're observing everything you are doing. So whatever you model to them, that's what you get back. Counselor or a psychologist to help out. And most importantly, above all, God. Hand everything over to God. God is the person that God is the one that gave us these children. We are just caretakers. So hand over every matter to God in prayer and involve the children on time. That is what helped me with my children. As early as even before they started to talk, everybody used to join in family prayer. And as we pray, when they begin to talk, even if it's amen, they say it is their own prayer. Before with time they will grow, they will begin to say, thank you, God. Thank you for mommy. Thank you for daddy. Thank you for calling people's name. With time, they will now learn more. Any child that you bring through knowing God on time, loving God, you see that they fare better. Even the Spirit of God within them will direct them to do proper, to behave properly. That is what guided. Uh, that's my greatest help. God, hand over everything to God in prayer and involve the children too in God, and it will help them to be open. The sister will guide them. They will not even misbehave. And in conclusion, your commitment to understanding your child's feelings and creating a trusting environment will definitely improve their willingness to share their thoughts, their feelings, their experiences with you. Remember, every child is unique, and different strategies may work better for different individuals. There's no one cap fits all. Children are unique. So different approaches to different children, but most importantly, good communication. So in summary, I say again, it's very important to be a good model to your children. Model what you want them to be. Be patient, be compassionate, and respect their individuality and uniqueness is very important. Listen and trust your children. Believe in your child. When they are telling you something, listen, believe them. Be consistent in all you do. In your guidance, your teaching daily, teach them, guide them, and they will not depart from that. Create a safe environment, listen without distraction, listen without judgment. Active listening and open-ended question is very important. You don't ask children things that will just say yes or no. There are some questions you ask children, it will make them to come out, and when they are talking, don't go and start giving advice or interrupt. No, allow them to speak their mind, and by then they will be close to you. That connection will be there, and they will be willing to always confide in you. Listen without judgment, listen without distraction, remove phone and listen to your children. Establish trust, mutual trust. As they are learning to trust you, you also trusting them. Mutual trust is very important. Validate their emotion. Show empathy and understanding. It's very important. When a child feels that is understand or is understood, is well accepted, his views are acceptable, he will feel inclined. Have regular quality time, share and shared activities. Very important. As you are doing all these activities in the home with them, and you see they will be opening up, discussing with you. Be approachable. Open communication, non-judgmental language is very important. Show general interest in their hobbies, in their welfare, and whatever they're doing. Celebrate their openness and honesty. When you see they're doing well, celebrate them. When they damage something in the hole, you ask and somebody volunteer, don't go and beat that child. Keep to your promise and then celebrate honesty. Be patient and know that rebuilding trust takes time. If you show good communication and the children are well connected with you, you see that their behavior will be right. You will not even be worried and saying, my child is not opening up to me. Remember that it's better to do prevention than wasting more time trying to cure them. So have open communication with them. And finally, I say today, reconnect with your children. Start today. If your children have not been communicating with you, with all these strategies I've mentioned, implement them, start today and nurture them. And you see they will open up and you have open relationship with them. Do your best, but remember, all depends on God, our creator. He's the one that gave us children. We need to rely on God as we do all these things. And in closing, I forgot to mention that, I'm an author. I've written some books, and there's still some I'm writing. For people and in our audience that are listening, the first book I wrote is on for new mothers. So people that are still pregnant or new mothers, and that, it's a difficult thing when you have a baby new, you don't know what to do. That was why I wrote that book. When our first son had the baby, had their first baby, and they were in that confusion stage. We all experienced our own time, what to do and what not to do. People coming to give you conflicting advice. So that was why I wrote that first book, Empowered Motherhood from Overwhelmed to Confidence, a new mom's journey, first year. And then in Nigeria, sometime this year, there was a time we had shortage of tomato and pepper. It was too costly in the market. And I have a system that I use to preserve my tomato and pepper in the house. So I wrote the second one, Ultimate Guide to Preserving Tomatoes and Pepper at Home. And my stepchild is now 8 months, heading to 1 year. And the parents, they've enjoyed the first book I wrote. They were asking me I should write more so that they will follow up. So I started writing the third book now, Thriving Toddlerhood, a mom's journey from 1 year to 3 years. That one is still it's still cooking on fire. Very soon it will be ready. And so I encourage people they can go to Seller, and it's there on Seller. The books are on sale on Seller. Okay, so let me stop so far. I don't know, maybe if people have questions, I'm open for questions. Thank you for
Okay,
listening.
mommy. Are you done?
Yes.
Thank you so
Mm.
much. Oh my God, this was just so amazing. I mean, when a not only a mother, a grandma speaks, I mean, you can feel the depth of knowledge and experience from all what she said. And she actually gave the strategies that you can use for a child that does not easily open up to you. Okay. So she talked about the fact that you need to understand that children are going through a lot. So that's why they can be silent or they don't open up. So if you're an ignorant parent, you complain. But if you're a conscious parent, you know that you need to apply strategies that mommy mentions. Okay, that you need to understand that your child is unique. All right. You need to listen. You need to understand them. I need to have this open conversation with them and also be a model. Thank you so much, mommy, for that session. We are so happy to
Thank you.
have you. And please follow her on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on Instagram. Her handle, I'll put it up in the comment section so you can go follow her up. And I'll also put up the link to her book. Okay. So if you want her book, you can also click the link that I'll put at the comment section for you to go grab it. All right. Follow her on LinkedIn. Okay. And on Instagram and Facebook. All right. So, mommy, there was one question here for you.
Okay.
So the question is, there's a question on the screen. If your child entrusts something to you, the mother, and does not want you to tell your husband, how do you handle that? So it's a question from Modestine in Cameroon. You got the question?
Cool. Oh, yes.
Should I repeat the
You said
question?
if you discuss something with your child and he does not want you to tell your husband, what do you do? Because I mentioned there that when you discuss, depending on what the issue is, if it's the issue, know that the father must be involved. You have to explain it to that child. Let the child explain it the way you understand that it's a matter that the daddy need to know. But if it's an issue that you can handle alone, you may just handle it there. Like my husband is if I discuss some issue with him that you want to be confidential, he will even know the time before you close mouth. He has even made it public. So that, like recently now, my son had a baby, and I made arrangement and bought one fine baby clothes. I wanted to surprise it. Before I know, my husband carried it and put on a family of carried the picture. I put on a family. I said, why are you putting it there? He said, this. I said, why should you put it there? So if you know that the husband is somebody that will not keep that situation, if it's something you can handle by yourself, then keep it with the child and handle it. But if you know that something that you cannot handle just by yourself, explain to that child, and then go ahead, so that the child will still know that, your husband is coming into it, their dad, you will know that it's already agreed. Do you understand? Is that okay?
Okay, mommy, thank you so much. I hope
Okay.
that Modestine has gotten the answer to her question. Thank you so much, mommy. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Okay.
It's kind of sad that we're going to stop here with you for now, but hopefully you will stay with us. Okay, so we're
Yes,
going
I'm
to
still
move
around.
on to, yeah, we'll be glad to have you, mommy. Okay, so we're going to move on to our next speaker that is already on stage. Okay, so her name is Fozi Solange. She's a parent coach, an inspiring one for that matter. Okay, and she's going to be handling the sub team. Why does your child tells lies, and how do you fix it? How do you handle this? Hello, Solange.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
I can get you. I
Okay.
don't know for the others. If you can get her, can you just send an
Please just
emoji or
comment that you can hear
yeah.
me and you can see me as well. Is there any indication in the comment section? Okay. Okay, maybe we'll just go ahead.
Yeah, they can get you.
Loud and clear, that's fine. Thank you so much, Uche. Thank you so much. And it's a privilege being here, Coach Ma. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share what I have regarding this topic. Parenting is a passion to me, and I'm very much interested in every parent coming to this limelight of raising their children. I call them raising kings because that's who they are. If we must do it rightly, then we must be concerned about the next generation, and we want to raise our children rightly. So without much waste of time, thank you again, Coach Ma, for this opportunity. I want to quickly dive into my topic, which says, why do your child lie and how you can fix it? Very interesting one, right? I'm sure most of us here, we are very eager and itchy to know why our children lie. Now, at some point in our lives, we have to settle some things here. Each one of us will bear with me that we have spoken lies, we have said one lie or the other, depending on one reason or the other. Now, so a lie telling at some point in the life of every child is a coping mechanism. If you can hear me, please put that in the comment section. That lies telling at a particular stage in every child is a coping mechanism. Yes, they use lies telling to survive. Now, why the lies and how can it be fixed? Interestingly, now you hear things like too many parents saying that at times say that we don't say lies here, where are you from with this and all of that, and immediately they run to the quick fix. We know the quick fix now. They pick up the cane and they start beating. In our house, we don't tell lies and all of that, and they beat the child. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work that way. A cane has never worked. And I'm one of those parents that say that a cane doesn't work. It doesn't fix anything. In fact, it just calms it. That's why it's called a quick fix. Yes, because it fixes the situation temporarily and the real issue is still there. So you see parents, they use the cane, they use their energy, excuse me, and they waste it on the child and beat and beat and beat. And at the end of the day, the child will still come up with one lie or the other. And you think that maybe beating the child fix it. That's why I say that at some point in time, even as an adult, we have told lies. Yes. Let me see somebody in the comment section who has never told lies. If you have never told a lie, please indicate in the comment section. Then I think that this class is not for you if you have never told a lie. Now, so studies have shown that children generally lie a lot from ages 2 to 5. If you are there and you can hear me, please put it up. Studies have shown that children generally lie from ages 2 to 5. Now, like we said earlier, that lying is a survival mechanism. And children lie for several reasons. Maybe to avoid consequences. Lying is a behavior. Now, it is our duty as a parents to teach our children how not to lie. And this, a cane cannot solve it, like I said. Using a quick fix cannot solve it. But we correct our child requires skills on how to gain them, to start telling the truth and building honesty and confidence. Now, let's look at some of the reasons why children lie. Children lie for the sake of maybe fantasy. They just imagine something and they imagine how your face will look like when they start telling a lie. And that's why they lie. Children lie to avoid facing consequences. That's another one. Children lie to gain approval, maybe from their peers, from the people they stay with, even from their parents. That's why they sometimes lie. Or to get impressed. That's why children lie. Are we still here, please? Are we still here? Please, if you can hear me, kindly indicate in the comment section so I know we are still here. Or the network has kicked me out and I'm talking here all alone. Please let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me, Koshma? Oh. Can someone hear me, please? Are we still here? Okay, sorry about that. I was trying to confirm if we're still here since I didn't get any indication in the comment section. So I was giving reasons why children lie, and I said a quite number of them. And I said children lie for fantasy, imaginary thinking, and children lie to avoid facing consequences. I'm just going over them again. Children lie to gain approval, or to gain impression from their friends, their loved ones. Oh, thank you so much, Modestine. To gain approval from their loved ones. And I said that lying at a point of a child's life is a developmental issue. Now, if you're a parent, you don't understand this, then you will struggle from ages 2 to 5. And we say that from ages 2, 50% of children lie. From ages 3, 50% still. From ages 5 to 7, 40%. From ages 7 to 10, 80% of them lie. Now, one of the reasons too that children lie is because of low self-esteem, peer pressure. Now, it is okay for children to lie despite what research has shown that children at the age of 2 to 5 lie every 2 hours. Now, so you see that is a critical issue, despite the fact that it is part of their development, but it's a critical issue. Now, like we said, instead of looking at punishing the child for lying, it is important to settle down and think of where this issue is coming from so that you handle it. You are going to the root. Now, when you have a grass growing around your compound, you don't just cut them from the top and the place will be clean, excuse me. You cut them from the bottom. You go right from the root so that you're able to uproot it to make the place very clean for a very long time now. So we are saying that just like a grass, it is important as parents to know why their children lie. Why does your child lie? And like our topic said, we have looked at the why, and now we'll be seeing how we can fix it. How can you fix your child from lying? Because it's doable. It's doable if you're a very present parent or you're a conscious parent. Then you should be able to answer this question: why does my child lie? And how can I fix it? Because if you don't know the why, then you cannot fix it. If you don't know the why, you cannot fix it. So it's important to know the why so that you'll be able to fix it. And like we said, to know the why is the beginning of solving it. When you know why your child lies, that's when you begin by solving the situation. Now, one of the first reasons why our children lie is because we're talking of how to fix it. How to fix it. How to fix it, please. How to fix it. Maybe your expectations of them is too high. Yes, maybe what you expect from them is too high. And if you're a conscious parent, you know that sitting down and imagining things, or you can just sit down and imagine and cook up some kind of stories. Like I said from the very beginning, if you say you're a parent here and you say you have never lied, then maybe this webinar is not for you. But I believe that most of us at some point in our lives we told lies and we were able to fix it, and we are still fixing it to date. And that's why you see, if you tell yourself you have never told lie, then it's hypocritical, because even as adults, you see, at some point in times, adults even struggle. You see, even in a work environment, people struggle to even say the truth. For example, somebody may be absent from work and it demands that maybe you give a permission, especially when you're absent from work maybe is not sick, or is not something that is guided or legally binding, that demands that maybe they have to take one day off from your paycheck. Now you decide to hide that. That's a lie. Now, so you see that lying is a daily thing. Now, until you become conscious and you say, now, I think honesty is better than lies telling. Saying the truth is better than lies telling. And how do you go about it? Like we said, you have to model honesty. And how do you model honesty? You allow your children to own up to their mistakes. Sometimes as parents, we don't even give our children time to even explain themselves when something happens. Because we cannot even control ourselves. We just get into it and we are angry, and you don't even allow the children, to explain themselves. So at the end of the day, what they just want to say is to tell a lie. Now, so you model honesty, and by modeling honesty, you have to be a good listener. You allow your children to own up to their mistakes, and you even give reasons. Children should even be giving you reasons to why they are lying. Because from there, if they give you reasons, from there you'll be able to fix it and tell them the better way. Sometimes too, they lie to be able to avoid consequences. We already said that. Now, if you are a parent that you use a cane all the time, your children will lie to you because they don't want to be flogged. But if you're a parent that you praise the truth, I think there is no child that will not want to say the truth to their parents. If you're a parent that values open communication in your home, then I don't think your child will be able to tell lies, because your child will be the first person that will even come back from school and tell you, Mommy, this is what happened, Daddy, this is what happened. On this day, this is what happened to me. My friends did this and that. But if you are the friend that is a parent that is a police rather than a teacher, you make it very difficult for the children to even be interactive. I heard the very first speaker make mention of it. Communication is very important in the life of a parent-child relationship. That's even where it begins. Now, also, what does your family value says? Because it is not only about the children. You as an adult, are you the kind of parents that you sit in your home and you answer a phone call and you say, no, I'm coming, I already left the house, in 5 minutes we will meet, but whereas you are still there and forgetting your environment, that the people that you are you are teaching are around you, and they are getting what you are saying. That is rather putting the children into more confusion, because mommy or daddy cannot be saying that in our home we don't speak lies, and they are doing the contrary. Now, so it doesn't work that way. So if we are modeling or fixing the issue of lies, then it begins with you as a parent. What are you modeling? What are you modeling in the life of your children? Honesty begins with you, in your conversation, in your words, in your deeds, in your actions. So what are you modeling as a parent is one of the things that we earlier said, and that we should model honesty. And by modeling honesty means that we appreciate them for being open. We even appreciate them when they tell us the truth, and let them know that the truth is higher over any kind of over lies. And interestingly, some parents even beat their children when they say the truth. That's very, very wrong. It's very, very wrong. At the end of the day, you get the child confused. So like I said, I'm sure by the end of this evening, those parents that are using cane will understand that cane has never solved any problem. Yes, beating a child has never solved any problem. But having an honest communication with them and bringing them close to you and disciplining them rightly, that's when you get it. Now, we also said that you have a conversation with them and talk to them about the importance of telling the truth. Have a conversation with them. How many parents do sit our children down and talk with them? Even share stories of modeling honesty or modeling the truth over telling a lie. That's where they learn. That's how they learn how to stand on the truth and keep saying the truth even right to their adult age. Having a conversation with them and telling them the importance about the truth. We already said that you give them the chance to tell them to say the truth, and you praise them when they do so. Praise them, don't beat them. Praise them, appreciate them from coming to tell you the truth. Because if your children tell you the truth, it's good to appreciate them, because it's not everybody that will own up to you or come up or tell you the truth. Another thing too is build their self-esteem and make them have confidence in themselves. Now, we discover that those who don't have confidence in themselves will always want to tell lies, because people who lack self-esteem are people who are people pleasers. Now, so you tell lie, like we earlier said, that some people tell lie because of peer pressure now, or because they want to gain approval. So because of self-esteem, because of the fact that you don't have confidence in yourself, now you're forced to tell lies. So it's important to build self-esteem in the life of your children, to be able to stand on their own and have confidence in themselves. Now, we also said that lying, when it becomes a habit, that is when it is too bad. When lying becomes a habit, that is when it's too bad. So it's important, parents, be on the watch on your children. Don't leave them all to themselves, and at some point in time you come and you start saying that, who taught you how to lie? Don't you know that we don't say lies in this house? But whereas they were there with you from the very day they were born, and maybe there was never any rule in your house saying that in this house we believe in saying the truth, because you will say the truth and the truth will set you free. And let them know, because it is not only about letting them know your family values. When you put them somewhere, let me just dive into this. When you put them somewhere, they remember. When they read, they remember. When they read, they remember. They know that in our house, lies telling is not something that we tolerate. Yes, it's true that we extend grace, but we don't tolerate lies telling. So let it be visible. Let the children know what the family stands on. Because sometimes parents, we just assume, yes, a lot of parents assume, but parenting is not about assumption. A lot of parents assume that these children are supposed to know this, they are supposed to know that, forgetting that we are the ones to teach them. We are the ones to teach them. Then I ask myself, how do you even teach when you don't know? How do you teach when you don't know? If you want to check on this chat, this webinar is very free, right? But if you check the number of parents that are here, you will be shocked. But we have good intentions towards our children, want to raise them rightly, but we are not willing to get knowledge, even when it's free, to raise our children to become better and to be the change that we even want to see in our society. So Parenting is an art that can be learned. If you want to raise your children rightly, then you must be willing to sacrifice. Yes, it is not a walk in the park. I'm sure Kushma can tell you. And if you are here and you're raising your children, you're a conscious parent, you know that it's not a walk in the park. Because you need, while you are parenting your children, you need to parent yourself first. And if you are a parent that you grew up in a house where lies telling was tolerated, now you don't want to pass this down to your children. Now you begin to make conscious effort to begin to wipe away this lies telling attitude and begin to embrace the truth. That's the only way you can model this to your children. It's true that lies telling is not a good behavior, because once a child, like they always say in pidgin, permit me use pidgin here, say once like man native man, like they say. Yes. Yes. So it begins from telling lies. Then after they start hiding a lot of things from you, and now then it goes wild. And that child is out of hands. Now, so another thing two parents needs to watch out is look at their environment. The people that stay in your home. Look at the environment where your children are. What are the kind of people there? Are they the people that are so careless and the lies to them is just a normal day-to-day thing and they don't see anything wrong with it? That's why I always tell parents that being a parent is like you are a German shepherd. You are on a watch over your children. You don't lose your guard. You are on a watch over them. If you know a German shepherd, nobody trespass around their children. You are very sensitive and you don't allow things to just pass you by, as a parent. And you wake up from sleep and start saying that, oh, how did this happen? But if you are very present in the life of your children, you even start noticing when they start telling small lies. And that's where the fixing even begins. That's where the fixing begins. So, parents, let's model rightly. Let's do what is expected of us, even as we pray. I believe in the God factor and the knowledge factor in raising children. Prayer alone cannot handle it. But you need knowledge and you need God. I say it again. Prayer alone cannot handle it. I'm a praying parent, but you need knowledge and you need God. So let's keep spreading the light of conscious parenting or intentional parenting. And let's bring in as many parents as possible. It is like a candle. Those parents that have come to the light of conscious parenting are like candles. And what is your job? To light up other parents around your community, around your environment, so that together, when I'm raising my children right, the next parent is doing same, and the other one is doing same, and together we raise our children right. Now, with the lot of dysfunctionality that we have in our society is because one parent is doing it rightly and some other parent is not doing it rightly. And at the end of the day, tomorrow you don't know who your child will marry. Now, imagine a child that comes out from a conscious parenting home and married from maybe where there was this laissez-faire attitude, and it brings a lot of differences and a lot of friction. So my take-home message, if there's nothing that you got from me concerning lies and all of that, you are a candle. If you're a conscious parent, you're a candle. And your job is not to stay quiet. Let's light as many candles as possible. When we have webinars like this, please invite people to join. This is free. Coach Ma, I've attended classes on parenting that I've paid monies over the years just to be able to acquire the knowledge that I have now. You cannot just say you want to raise your children right and you're just doing anyhow. There's a pattern.
Yeah,
There's a
exactly.
pattern. I think God gave even a pattern to Noah in building the ark. For every brick, for every plank, for every nail, there was a reason. The reason why God has given you that child is because there is a reason. And as a parent, don't fail. You may think that maybe your purpose can be something out there. Maybe your purpose is just your child. Maybe the reason why God brought forth that child was just because He wants you to raise that child to be the next somebody of high calling tomorrow. And imagine that you miss that as a parent. So let's take our assignment as parents seriously, and let's keep lighting as many candles as possible. I hope I was able to say something here that was good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we are always here. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm grateful. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Coach Posy Solange. I mean, listening to you talking from your wealth of knowledge and from your experience is really amazing. And all those who are joining us right now, Emilia, Modestine. Oh my God, we are so happy to have you guys. If you have questions, just kindly write them at the comment section. Okay, our coach is still around and she's going to answer. All right. Thank you so much for the Solange. We have actually learned a lot from you. And it's a common phenomenon because no parent here would tell me that he or she hasn't experienced a situation where the child told a lie. And sincerely, as parents, when our children tell lies, especially when we want them to have those good values, we really feel disappointed. We really feel like, oh my God, am I not really doing enough? Am I not trying? What will people say? Like, why does my child want to disgrace me? That kind of thing. So, but it's important for us to actually take on that role of being a conscious parent and to actually instill that truthful behavior in our kids and to use the right approach, like she said. You know, it is one thing to want to instill a value on our children. It's another thing when you have the right approach. And it's even better to learn the right approach early enough at once and see the results than to try many things there and just do it ignorantly and you end up just failing. So thank you so much. We are glad to have you here. So the third speaker for tonight has network issues, and I think that we're going to take him tomorrow. Okay. So Coach Nelson was the third speaker, and I was still hoping that network will permit him to join us. But apparently the network issues is just persisting at his end. So we are going to round up here. If there are no questions, okay, we're going to round up if there are no questions. And please take another rendezvous with us same time here tomorrow at 7:30. We are going to have other parent coaches, okay, from Nigeria. One of who is Coach Morinija. Okay. We're also going to have Coach Sandra. All right. They'll be sharing so much value yet tomorrow. So stay tuned and book a rendezvous with us tomorrow. We love you and be a conscious parent. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Bye.